I want to talk about charity. There's this idea that we tell ourselves that once I have more money, I'm going to donate more money. But we've learned from people with different incomes, backgrounds, and hashkafos that if you don't give when you have a little, you probably won't give when you have a lot. Let me say it again. If you don't give when you have a little, you're not going to give when you have a lot. Because giving isn't about your bank balance, it's about your heart, your habits. One listener told us he grew up in a tiny apartment in Flatbush. His father was a bus driver, money was tight, but every Friday before Shabbos, his father would take out a wrinkled envelope and he marked it Meiser. And he said, "We're God's bank. He gives us money to pass along to people in need." And now that man runs a successful business. And you know what he said? He said that giving didn't start with abundance. The abundance came from the giving. I think there's something very powerful about that. Yes, things are very expensive, and it's easy to feel like we can't afford to give. But here's the flip on that: you can't afford not to. Generosity rewires your brain, it takes you out of scarcity mode. It teaches your kids that money is a tool, not a treasure, right? We're not supposed to store it and hoard it. It opens up something spiritual that even spreadsheets cannot explain. And some of the most generous people I've met are not the flashiest. They're the most grounded, the most content, the least anxious. Because when you give away some of what you earn, you're telling yourself the following: I have enough. I'm not in this alone. I trust there's much more where that came from. And no, it doesn't have to be a massive amount. Sometimes it's $1 or $5. Sometimes it's time. But the act of giving regularly and purposefully shapes your entire relationship with money.